My protagonist has gained some allies. Welcome back to Writer's Theory. My name is James Winterthorn, and I'm writing a novel in 90 days. Today is day 28. Yep, it's day 28. And my character just finished telling a story that was very emotional and very purposeful for him. And today we're going to move on from that scene. And he's been staying with a Native American tribe for a few days, and is now going to move on. And this isn't quite a transition scene. It is a little bit, but because he's going to have friends along now with him. This part of the story is generally where the protagonist is tested, and where he'll either make friends or allies or make enemies along the way. And we start to see that in this scene where through his actions, he's made friends now. And we're going to witness how these two end up joining him on his journey. The structure that I've chosen, while it's in media res, so we started in the middle, we kind of picked up where there's some action. Our inciting incident happened a year or so before the present time in the story. And I'm kind of jumping around, and this is okay right now, because what I'll be able to do is, if I determine that chapter 4 maybe should come after chapter 5 or anything like that, I can reorganize the manuscript in a way that I think it'll be most impactful. So I still have that flexibility, but it's still following a very traditional story structure. I've just kind of chopped it up and reorganized it. So this is the part of the story where we see new friends come along. We see enemies being made. So very, very traditional in that sense. So let's get to the beginning of day 28 and see him make these friends. So we're still at the storytelling fireside that where Mercer told his stories, and others will tell their stories. Here it gets a summary treatment, because I don't need to tell every story that was told. Like, that doesn't move my narrative forward. So he's listening to the other stories shared by the group. And here he's like, because he shared so much of himself and he just feels different, I want to have that feeling be evident here. I always try to start new scenes with a description. In this case, being the light that's coming in from the morning sun. And I don't know if this is a realistic way in which two people would join him on his quest. I just knew that I wanted them to be a part of it, and so I just did that. And that's part of this writing adventure for me too, is if I need something to happen, I'm just going to do it. And if it needs adjusting later, I can always come back and adjust those things later. But I really wanted to have this be a part of the story. Here they're just having they're just having a little back and forth about whether it's a good idea to have two young Native Americans coming into town with him, and what that might be perceived like, what that might look like for them. He's really looking out for their safety here. So they're having the discussion now about whether the two will get to join Mercer on his journey. And I didn't know where this is going to go with them. Um, but I'm excited to have the opportunity to have really interesting characters to bounce interactions off of. Yeah, by this point in this chapter, I think I've made all of the efforts that I wanted to. And so now it's time for me to efficiently wrap it up. And I don't know if I finish it here, but let's watch the rest of day 28 and let's find out. So they're still just having this discussion about making sure it's okay that they go. And that they're a part of his group now. So they're just they're planning their story here. And I know it says they're going to travel east back into Kansas. I think I don't think I'm going to keep that. I think I'm just going to change that to just northern Colorado. Right. So still, it's just some planning. This is like a lot of almost the logistics for the story. Like we need to set it. Like need to have this be believable. The things that they're going to be taking along with them. Here, this I like this. This is Fireheart, who received Mercer's weapon earlier, is offering him a gift in exchange for what he had given him. And he's trying, like Mercer's trying to be polite and not take the knife, but it's actually quite rude that he doesn't, and then does end up taking the knife as a gift. So I got pretty close to wrapping up that chapter, and will complete that in the next day's writing. Um, but this was, he had done enough and earned the trust of these two young men who now want to go along with him, really in an effort to see him healed in a meaningful way, and not just from the gunshot wound, but they recognize that his spirit is in need of healing, and they wish to go with him until that happens. So I like this a lot. I like to have unique characters to bounce the dialogue off of, to have new narratives to explore. Just, I'm really excited about this possibility. So, with that, let me share today's line of the day. Though he had been welcomed and had shared their time and tradition, he shivered with an alienness that he brought something dark and terrible to them. And so this is that moment after he shared his story and he's feeling very vulnerable and almost shameful for the actions that he's done. And I thought this line did a great job of capturing that. So that's today's line of the day. And tomorrow we'll pick up and we will finish this chapter with Mercer's new friends and allies, and see what happens on this next step of their journey. If you are enjoying this series, please like and subscribe so you can see what I write tomorrow. I'll see you then. Smell eyes. Smell eyes.